So I would think that in the area of marriage and family, the things that we talked about before apply, that you need a lawyer, you can talk to your religious leader to get one, but I would also encourage you to remember some rules, some very important rules about marriage and family law, that no matter who you are, if you're married in the state of Texas, all property is presumed to be community property from the time of marriage. You can keep certain properties separate, like inheritance or something that you have before marriage, but it's very important. You can do what lawyers will tell you called a prenuptial agreement. But many people say it takes all the romance out of the marriage if you start out with a prenup. But then again,
talk about spoiling the mood.
But if it's your third or fourth marriage, the mood may already be spoiled.
Or mellowed.
It may be a property question.
Yeah.
But I've also seen that in this area, one of the big areas that comes up is this terrible thing of what happens after a divorce dealing with the children. Because whoever has the children, the other side's paying child support. And the question we get all the time is, my ex and I have agreed that I'm going to stop paying child support and I'm going to take the kids. Well, you can agree to that all you want to. And if the kids get to be 18 and nobody does anything, then God bless you all. But the truth of the matter is, the only way to change any relationship concerning children, be it the custody, the child support, whatever the agreement is to get a modification of that. What does that mean? It means you got to go back to that judge. It's a very simple motion to modify. Why is this important? Because the two adults simply cannot make agreements that are in the best interest of that child unless the court blesses it. So I think we get those questions a lot, because a lot of people just say, look, the kid's 15, he's going to go live with dad, and dad says, I'm not going to pay child support anymore. And then when 3 years later, you have the Attorney General looking for this guy for the non-payment of child support.
We'll get people rolling in, and my partner in crime right over here at Juan P. Reyna, class of 2000, South Texas, that I co-sponsor. Well, we co-sponsor the show, but we co-host it too. And he's a political analyst, you know, that's why I bring him on. But he does family law. And he tells me when they come over there and say, I haven't paid my child support in 3 years. I thought I didn't have to. What do I do? He says, buy 3 pair of underwear, buy 3 shorts, because you're going to county until I can do something about it.
Because that's going to happen.
That's going to happen.
Trying to reverse the effect of a child support order, especially if it enters enforcement.
Oh, yeah.
You see, and what makes you think that this woman who you used to be married to is going to jump on the bandwagon and say right away, yes, you know, I gave the child back, and no, they're going to say the money didn't come in. I don't know what agreement you have. Protect yourselves in those situations. And again, nobody likes the L word. That the need to have a lawyer. We all wish that you could do all this stuff without a lawyer. But as I told Joe, there's a reason you go to law school, because you acquire knowledge. And during that time, the knowledge is what's important here. Think of this. If the other side has access to a lawyer and you don't, you're going to lose sooner or later. And so if you have to go borrow the money or whatever you have to do, or work out something with a lawyer, do it. Otherwise, your rights in the state of Texas will not be protected.
Well, and the other issue that is very important, we've talked about the legal clinics, and we've talked about some of the topics that are most important: consumer law, family law, but the very need for more lawyers. We've got to underline that, and lawyers who've gotten advocacy education, like Gerald Treece has done, Dean Treece has done here at South Texas College of Law. We've got that 100th national win. What better way to not just celebrate that, but to educate the public by saying there are lawyers that are being trained, just like at Baylor and U of H and everywhere, all the good Texas schools, that are getting out there and teaching their law students to be advocates, to be able to stand up in court and also be prepared. The judges sure don't appreciate a lawyer who's not prepared, and their client pays for it. You know, we've heard, and one of my other favorite professors like you, Byron P. Davis, I think his favorite saying was, we speak for our clients. Speak wisely. And that's very true. You have to try to be a good advocate.
You get one shot at this, folks.
That's right.
In a courtroom setting, if it's a divorce case, a personal injury case, if it's a criminal case. And choose wisely who your voice will be. Because I have never seen a lawyer in my life who gave 100% that the client wasn't happy with. Find that lawyer who gives you the time. If they're not returning your phone calls, that may tell you something. Find somebody who cares about your case not just cares about your checkbook.
That's right. We've got a couple of minutes left, Dean, and I just, again, want to thank you so much for having us here on the campus grounds of South Texas College of Law here in San Jacinto, down here, 1300 block, right here in Houston, Texas, in the heart of downtown, and right next door, Court of Appeals is still there.
That's right. The first and the 14th courts of Texas are right in this building.
And
they're our tenants.
That's right. Oh, they're paying rent.
They pay rent.
Well, and it looks like they've been paying it for a long time.
They've been paying well.
They've been paying well. But you know, I just wanted to underline that when we have the honor of bringing on advocates like Dean Treece, someone who served our country and then came back and became a warrior poet, so to speak, and became an advocate. And not only that, but I think the most rewarding thing is when you share that knowledge and you mold many other lawyers, the net effect is those lawyers get out there and help people. And so with that being said, you've got the floor, a couple of minutes. I mean, what do you want to tell us?
Well, it's dangerous to give a law professor a couple of minutes, but let me also say the thing I'm proud of are former students like yourself and David and so many others who have gone on to represent individuals. It's a unique challenge. You know, when you're sitting out there, if you're a young person, you're watching this, and you're trying to decide what you want to do with your life, you know, there's a lot of opportunities in the law. You know, it's your career services in high school. You can go talk to them, the pre-law people at your college. Talk to them about this. You may not know that you have an aptitude for the law. Until you take something called the law school aptitude test, you may not even realize that you have knowledge for it. But listen carefully. Even if you have knowledge for it, even if you have that mental acumen, the thing that's going to make you a trial lawyer is inside of you. It's this great desire to not let bullies get away with being bullies. It's a great desire to represent those people who need representation. It's this feeling that you get that you don't want a person to be taken advantage of. You don't like it now, you don't like it in your private life, and that your professional life can be spent representing these causes. And these causes may not be causes that you're even aware of, because all you have to do is access any legal services clinic in this country. There's so much need for legal advice. There's so much need for people to be lawyers. So I want to encourage not only all of you to access through the Texas Bar website that you mentioned.
MyTexasBar.com.
MyTexasBar.com. Number 2, access your local bar association for more information. But also find a lawyer you know. Find a lawyer you can trust. And if you don't know any lawyers in your community, talk to your priest, your religious leader. Tell them what your legal problems are. And remember that if you go to court and you don't have any legal representation and the other side does, that's an unfair fight. You wouldn't let anyone else you cared about do that. Don't let yourself do it either.
Well, very well said, Dean. I want to take the chance to and the opportunity to thank you.
Well, thank
for
you.
Everything, and congratulations again on a 100th national title. This is a record breaker, #1 in the United States. And if it's an infomercial, let it be one.
Let it be.
Because we have tried our very best to let people out there know advocacy is what we need, and you need to find a lawyer, get that advocacy you need, and get that information. So this is Joe Flores signing off for South Texas Crossfire. Tune in next week. We're going to have another wonderful guest, and I hope you join us again.
I'll be here.
All right. Thank you all so much, and God bless.